yeah, man. This is Between Hook Sets. I'm Jason Walter from In Through the Outdoors with my partner in slime, Kurt Underhill from the Fishing Crew.
Good job, buddy. We're back.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, set the hook and showed my immaturity in the whole 9 yards. I'm such a child.
You started with the right video. You set the hook. Yeah,
I got it right. Yeah, I did. I feel pretty good about it. You know, I a little bit off today. This morning when I jumped on the radio here on 1300 KOLY in Mobridge, sorry, shameless plug. I don't know what my deal was. I was just off because I kept fixing long songs and fiddling around and taking care of endings and different things like that. And I just I'm like, I think it got here 4:45 in the morning, and all of a sudden it was 6 o'clock, and it was my show, you know, the whole cock-a-doodle-doo thing and good morning, and bam, there it is. So I've been kind of off, but I feel like I'm on the money tonight. You know what I'm saying to you?
there you go.
I think I got it, and I'm pretty pumped about the guest tonight too, because I kind of reached out real quick, see if he'd be on the show, and like, you know, we don't have anybody set up for Wednesday, so you know, how about jumping on the old program here, and he agreed to do it. So Joel's going to join us because we got lots to talk about tonight. This guy's got an interesting life, and he's kind of living the life of Riley, you know, doing the Target Walleye, Target Crappie thing, and all that. So can't wait to get his story.
Yeah, I can't wait to get the whole background. And like I said to him, I said, have we met yet? And he goes, I don't think so. And I called you earlier. I'm like, I've met this guy, and I think it's with you, but I don't know. And I don't think I did, but we're going to meet him tonight. So
we are.
And we'll bring Joel in, and we're going to get to know him. Joel, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Fabulous, man.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a little discussion prelim to kind of get to know a few things and realize that we didn't meet each other before, but, you know, kind of thought we did, or I thought we did. I'm like, God, we had to meet Joel somewhere. But you're not very long in this industry.
5.5 years, maybe.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's Tom Wynn's short time, right? I mean, you and Tom Wynn hit the scene about the same time, and you're having great success, but kind of in different arenas, but in the same industry.
I'm Tom Wynn without all the fame and all the giant walleyes and everything else that comes with Tom Wynn. I don't think I'm near as nice as him either.
Yeah, right. Yeah, boy, I'll tell you what, isn't he hard to beat for nice?
He's just he's a dude. That's all I got to say about it. He's awesome.
He is. He's absolutely just bigger than life, and it's pretty awesome. But you know, I'm trying to remember my first introduction to your name, and I believe you were filling in on Target Walleye here, not too long ago, and
probably July or August.
Yeah, I went back to look because I was gonna. I like to pop things up on the screen, and I'll do that here in a second because I want an answer to this one. But you know, so I was looking for one because you know you had in there that you were filling in, and I right away I responded. I'm like, dude, this is really good. I liked it. You responded back, and I think maybe that's where Kurt. You know, he's like you really get enamored with certain people. And so you were one of those guys where I went, hey, this is a cool dude, and I like you. But let's pop up a picture and you tell me what's up with this.
Oh boy, that is a number 10 finisher, and that picture's from Chris Feline and myself fishing the Minnesota Adult Teen Challenge on Madison Lake in southern Minnesota.
Oh, so is that what this is?
That's what that is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yep. Bingo. So here's the deal.
Go back to that photo.
It happened to me too. Oh, are you going to ask him about his fingers?
No, go back. Next photo.
Oh, you mean this one here?
I don't see any blood on your hand there. So I was seeing if there's like a paper towel or electrical tape. Electrical tape's my key.
I fixed it in post.
Oh, okay. That's actually funny because I have done that with last year when I got into my fall eye and I had a few walleye that got a little bloody, and so I doctored a little because I didn't want people to see the blood because I know that they get a little bit. But no, wait a minute now, May the 10. I just picked up 10s 3 weeks ago, and so you were privy to the number 10 a little earlier than the rest of us, eh?
I think I'd had that bait like 3 or 4 days.
Oh, no kidding. And
Yeah,
it bit you like that? Honestly, I
yeah,
think
so-
I had this money badger like 3 or 4 days too, and it stung. And I reached down to grab that walleye and I saw it coming. And matter of fact, I yelled no, the old slow motion no thing. And wham, I'm like, well, there it is. And so I did everything I could. And here's the deal. This is it. I'm sorry, this isn't about me, but I kept fishing with it in my hand. I'm like, well, the heck with it then. Everything's fine. And then I went home, tried to get it out. I was too chicken to pull it out because it was, you look, you could see you can see where the tip of the hook was going to point. The hook was going to come through, and so I put a hypodermic needle in there up against the barb and popped it out. But yeah, I'm like, I can't stop fishing. The big fish are biting. So
I didn't really have that. I didn't really have that problem. I guess we caught some big pike. But interesting thing about that photo, we were on Madison Lake throwing, fishing weed lines and whatever, trying to win the walleye side. We'd won it the year before. It's a charity tournament, right? So you're just fishing for fun. We were catching 8 and 9 inch crappies on that number 10 finisher every catch.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Just I should send you some photos of that, but it's crazy. They were barely bigger than the bait, it seemed like, some of them. And I saw a hot spot in the weeds and I'm like, I think that's a fish. So I chucked that thing out there and it was a 36.5 inch pike.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Here for a second, I thought you were going to say 36.5 inch walleye. I'm like, huh?
That one was 28.5.
Okay, well that's a big fat 28.5. That was an easy 10.5 pounder. That thing was fat.
I didn't weigh it. I wish I would have. I caught that December 26th of 2022, I think.
Okay.
And South Central Iowa and a very skinny river, which Iowa has, there's a lot of big fish, but there's a lot of lakes that suck too, that should be good and are really hard to fish. But the skinny, shallow rivers always produce the biggest fish there.
Yeah, you don't hear much for walleye or other tournaments coming out of the Iowa realm other than, the Storm Lake, that area up there, Okoboji area is all I ever hear for Iowa for tournament stuff.
Yeah, the rivers are, aside from, the IGLs and, Clear Lake is really good now because of the slot most of the time. Rathbun is really good, but the rivers are really the hidden gem. Northeast Iowa, the Cedar, the Shell Rock, pretty much anywhere you can go. The Upper Des Moines up by Algona is really good. But yeah, that's where all the longfish go. I mean, there's fish that have been up to 33, 34 inches that have come out of Iowa that don't get talked about. I won't say where, but
Keep it secret.
It's got the right fish in the right places, but most of it is, I think 93% of the fish are in 7% of the water, maybe 97% are in 3% of the water.
Oh, that's honestly, that's pretty good math. We were talking here at work here about different things, and I said, well, I know there's one statistic that you can't refute, you can't argue with, and that's 10 out of 10 people will die.
It's true.
Yeah, I went there.
Yeah. Joel, let's get to know your background. We kind of went instantly into your fish hooks and hands, and let's get to know you before we got hooks in our hands and where you started and what you do now.
Yeah, I want to touch on that, on the hook thing first, because that was actually not from the finisher. It was from me grabbing that pike underneath the gill plate and then trying to pinch his forehead shut so it wouldn't bite me. And the teeth from the bottom jaw actually went through the roof of the mouth of that fish and punctured my thumb.
Really?
Yep. So I didn't have to dig a hook out of there.
Okay.
And up until about 3 weeks ago, I'd never actually been hooked until I was fishing a Clear Lake tournament, the Fall Classic with Josh Jones from the NWT. And I took a treble to the finger and had to yank it out. And it wasn't that bad, really.
The line
it wasn't.
gets out every time, no problem.
I was blown away by how quick and easy it was. You just got to grip it.
Did you look when because I don't think I could look and do it. Although I'm using a hypodermic needle, sticking it in my hand, trying to get the thing around the barb so I can pull it out. But yeah, I don't know. It kind of freaks you out when the whole 1, 2 and pull thing.
No, you always go. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3 pull, and you always go on like 1 or 2, so they don't know.
Well, no, yeah, and then boom, it's over with, right?
My wife got it in her hand. She's like, I don't know if I can trust you, and I'm like, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go just hold here. She goes, I don't know if I can trust you. And I go, poop, and she goes, oh, okay,
done. Just like that.
Not that bad.
So you picked up a camera, you said. So I'm popping up one of the pictures. You took some really awesome pictures, and the crappie picture was probably the best. And I'm a Money Badger guy, so I'm like, well, I'm going to choose that one. But yeah, so you started out as a kind of a freelance photographer, but what were you doing before that, before COVID?
Before COVID, I was in the insurance industry. I sold life, home, auto, health, ended up doing a lot of health towards the end of that. And I didn't really pick up a camera until February of 2020. One part I didn't tell you earlier is that I'm a custom rod builder. So I was building ice rods, and we were working on getting retail stores. We were doing some work with Shields and some other smaller shops. And that started in 2016. And the whole reason I had an interest in photography was because we could not afford to pay anybody a crazy day rate of $1,000 a day to take photos. So I was doing cell phone stuff. That's really when it started. So, 9 years ago, but I took it to a different level when I started buying real equipment and really investing in the craft.
So it became kind of did it become an obsession, or did you think you were going to make money at it, or tell us that story. How did that all go?
I didn't really have anything else to do during COVID.
I suppose, yeah, right. Because you picked up a camera before COVID, and then boom.
Yeah, I just played around. I enjoyed the learning process. I always have enjoyed the learning process of whatever it is I do, whether it's OWIs in my law enforcement days, back to 2011 or 2012, tackling the challenge of health insurance, which is a horribly boring thing to do, but I enjoy the challenge of that, and that becomes a little bit interesting. You don't really have a choice. You gotta enjoy it, otherwise it's miserable. But photography was just another challenge, and it's something that I kind of just fell in love with. It was a God thing. Never really believed that I had an eye for it. Never went to school for it. Never, even today, I wouldn't say that. I take great photos. I'd say that I just take a lot of photos, and I keep the good ones and throw away the bad ones. And
that's something the God thing, right? You brought that up. It happened with my In Through the Outdoors. My mom kept at, why are you doing this? I'm like, I don't know. Is that kind of the thing with you too? You don't know why, you don't understand it, but everything just keeps falling into place. You're at the right place at the right time. You're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's, God has a certain way of pushing you different directions or pulling you different directions. In that case, I had the wind at my back, and I was being pulled from the front too. And I had no choice but to just go into that side of things because I loved it that much. I have a graphic design background, which is a whole nother twist to the story, because I hate doing graphic design, but that's what I went to school for. Then I was a cop. It sounds kind of erratic, but and it really is. But when you look back, you never really understand what God is doing until hindsight is 20/20. It's hard to understand it in the moment, but I can retrace my steps and say, man, he used this to lead me to that, to lead me to that. And every one of those skills, I met so-and-so here, I learned this and that there. And I wouldn't be sitting in the In-Fisherman office right now if every one of those things didn't happen. All of the good, all of the bad, and everything in between.
Yeah, and that's something that is part of the story: the good, the bad, the ugly, and the hindsight and the answers. Isn't it amazing? You're not looking for an answer; you're asking for an answer, and then all of a sudden, the answer appears, and And I think that's when you know that you're on the right track to your purpose and your destiny, right?
Amen.
Yeah.
So you started out as just taking photos of your rods. How did you get the break? Like, what was it? Was there a certain photo, or you just kept showing up at the right place at the right time?
A little bit of both. I showed up at a lot of the wrong places at the wrong time too. So it's not that I had a special knack for that or anything like that. It's really a game of repetitions. It's not any different than fishing or anything else that if you want to get really good at it, you have to do it a lot and you have to be willing to fail. You've got to invest in the craft. You've just got to keep pushing the button. And I just never stopped pushing the button. And I'd say a lot of it is really the editing. And I think that's the most overlooked part of photography that really makes it your own, whether it's shooting photo or video. There's some basic things you can do, but that's really what separates you to give you your own identity or your personality of the creative vision.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Especially nowadays, people overlook because you pull out your iPhone or your Android if you're chasing and you're living the Stone Age, and you pull out your phone, you take a photo, and it's pretty good, right? I mean, it's a pretty good photo, and people don't realize that when you do the photos you do or the photography you do, there's a lot of time spent editing.
It's 90% of the work, and that's what brings you can take a bad photo and turn it into a good photo with sometimes the simple edits are the best. And I'm the type that would, walk all the way around the block just to end up right back where I started. And I've done that in nearly everything that I've done and said, oh, I've been here the whole time. But pushing the boundaries of color science and exposure and learning how to do that is really what I enjoyed. I just learned what I could get away with and what I couldn't. And kind of just adapted my style overall from doing that.
So then you get a call from, did Brett call you? Did Chris call you? Did Al call? All of a sudden you're doing content for Target Walleye and Target Crappie.
So yeah, I'll back up. I was on the Striker Pro staff, and a guy by the name of Mike Anselmo, who's one of my favorite humans in the world. He's a wonderful, wonderful guy. He was the brand manager there. He gave me an opportunity, hired me for my first photo shoot, and hired me for another one. And then, you start to share a little bit of that on social media, and people get wind or word of that, and then you accept job after job. But you're not going to get rich doing it. You do it because you really like it, and because you scratch that creative itch. And man, you get to be around fish. You get to take pictures of fish, and I love doing that to the point where if there's a hot bite and there's somebody else in the boat, like if I'm with Chris, he catches a fish, I will put my rod down and pick up my camera because I enjoy it that much.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's hard to do though, right? Well, I guess if it's a passion, which it must be, it's a little easier, but I just find it tough. It's like, okay, I just caught a fish. I didn't grab my phone. I didn't take a picture of it. I did nothing, but I released it and I caught it and I felt good about my catch. It takes a lot of work and training to set all of that fun stuff aside and start working.
It's kind of just second nature. I enjoy it that much. I can catch that fish and I can have that memory for myself. That's great. But somebody else catches that fish. I pick up the camera. Now I preserve the memory. They have it, and you can share it with everybody. And that's the only reason I can figure out that I've ever done it.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. When we're out fishing, I'm right away. I'm like, because I'm not catching everybody else's catch. I'm like, hang on, let me get my camera ready. I'll take a picture of you. And it happened this past weekend. We went out and I caught big catfish again. But one of the guys, Ryan, caught a nice 26.5 incher. I snapped pictures of him. And Ryan, if you're watching tonight, sorry, I forgot to send it to you. I guess I'll have to do that when we get done with the show. But yeah, those pictures are for everybody, right? Somebody's got to take them. Somebody's got to put that imprint on history, and you're a part of that. And then, are you a writer by nature? Because doing Target Walleye and Target Crappie, you're more than doing pictures. I know that if Brett's busy, you'll fill and do some stuff there.
Yeah, I'm a storyteller, and I enjoy doing that with a camera more than anything. But there's something therapeutic about sitting down and writing. I've done some of that. You're not going to see me all over In-Fisherman or Game and Fish, or all over these, with archives of articles. But I enjoy the process, and most of that storytelling has been done with a camera. You will see some writing coming up on the In-Fish side.
Okay.
As we ease into things. So it's only on my second week here, so I'm not going to say that there's crazy things happening, right? Like,
So
I barely have a key to the office.
we got a question here. Josh Jones one says, "Wait, so you can take a picture of Joel and me and make us look good and make it look good?"
We can fix anything in post.
I've been waiting on that one for a little bit since we were talking about editing, but yeah. So, I mean, so you started off copping insurance, picked up building rods, then you started taking photos for Striker, got to Target Walleye. Now you're at In-Fish. How did that journey happen, and how do you feel? Like, I mean, we all grew up with an In-Fisherman. I mean, that's what we grew up with.
Ironically, I didn't.
Really?
And yeah, I didn't grow up reading it because nobody in my family fishes. So I feel a little bit robbed of that opportunity, and I will not rob my kids of that opportunity. But
There you go.
I love hearing the stories of people, like everyone that hears that. They're like, man, I grew up reading that. I love that. My grandpa had that. All of these things that warms my heart because it tells you that you're doing a special thing. And I'm just blessed to be that, where God wants me to be and where he has me right now. And I'll be here as long as he has me here. And just do the work while I can.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I would think for Kurt, myself, having grown up with In-Fisherman, the whole 9 yards, if I got a call, I mean, I'd freak out. I'd absolutely freak out because there's, 50 years, if not 52 or 53 years, because Grandpa had it, and so for you, not having the history, of course, In-Fisherman's In-Fisherman, right? But you don't have that little kid history, which must change things for you. But then again, you wouldn't know the difference. So it's just cool that you're at In-Fisherman.
I'm a huge fan of the brand, and I have been for 15 years. I just don't have that childhood attachment that most people have.
That's interesting.
If that makes sense, but I have the same love for the brand, and obviously, anytime you can blend science and fishing and education and combine all those things together, and who doesn't love that? If you don't love that, you don't like to catch fish.
Yeah, 100%. I was Googling something because I didn't know it was an In-Fish, but the one thing I remember from I still vivid in my childhood memory was the walleye hardcover book my dad had that had a walleye chasing a night crawler. I had to look up 1986 it came out.
Is that what it was?
It was called.
Might be on the wall back here. It's here somewhere.
Oh, sure.
And I didn't know if that was an In-Fish book, but I'm like, I'll never forget that book as long as I live. Like that walleye book, hard-covered walleye. And I mean, anybody that probably lived in South Dakota, probably his parents or somebody owned a copy of that book and has seen it. Sure. And it was that was like a staple in my childhood, looking at that. And then In-Fish magazines would come every week. And I mean, I look at some that I don't like the newer ones. I don't really, now in the digital world, I don't really look at them. Sorry. But like I can see the Al Linder one back there behind you underneath the In-Fish sign. I remember that cover. I mean, not growing up in it, but to get there, that's a huge, huge accomplishment.
I'm going to show you guys something here because it's in a different room. Hang on.
We're getting a tour of the In-Fish.
Oh, yeah, I love this. This is perfect. Let's take the tour.
This is really cool. Whoops. Just bonked my head on a light. Bear with me. So not growing up with I don't have the nostalgia, but I have the same love for the brand. And a lot of that really comes from hearing the stories like you guys just shared, but also walking through here and then seeing some of the things that are on the walls. Like there's art everywhere, like Larry Topple. I mean, these are hand painted things that were all the covers, and it's just incredible. I mean,
it's amazing.
everywhere you look, there's a painting, and this guy. I mean, it's wild. Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Yeah. You know what? This is going to be the coolest part of the night. Is this little bit of a tour here?
Like paintings all over the place, and the guy was unbelievable at what he did. I'm probably going to get lost in this office because I still don't know my way around, but there's a few other things like that's from February of 1978. A lot of these are magazine covers, calendars, things. I took the long way. Stand by.
That's all right. We wanted you to take the long way. That's fabulous.
There's some other things right there. I don't know if you guys recognize any of these, but yeah, I mean, that's all.
Definitely.
It's all done by Larry. He's just a phenomenal talent.
Wow.
Here is the cool part of this all. So that's the first In-Fisherman that ever came out.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't know what the date is. It doesn't say. I think it's 1976 or something like that. But there's a whole wall of plaques.
Look at that.
It's just it's super awesome. All the way to, Larry Topple Classics. I mean, he is so talented, and I look at that stuff and I'm inspired. I love it.
No doubt. That just so good. Take the shot of everything hanging on the wall again there. That's just way too much fun. Look at that stuff.
That is so cool.
I'll try to. Sorry, am I sideways or do I need to put my
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is a view that we all don't, none of us get to see this, right? Look at that.
I'm just like flashback of childhood looking at half of these magazines that I've seen before, Remember these covers.
Look at that.
That one is from, what is the date on that? It doesn't say, but, an old original Rapala. It's just awesome. There's Al with a whole stringer of bass.
The old green box in there.
Yeah. One more room here somewhere that it's got a bunch of Larry's old stuff. I'll save you guys the time of having to run through it all because I'll probably bump into more stuff that I don't know is there. But
what an awesome surprise! We get to take a little trip through the office here. Look at that.
Wow.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I wish you guys could see this stuff in real life. It's incredible.
Oh, it's great right now. Just the way you're doing it. That I'm just tickled pink that we get a chance to do
Bemidji, I think, and take a peek at this place.
What's that?
So we're going to come up to see it in Bemidji and take a peek at this place in person.
Wow.
Come on over. It's in Brainerd, but not too far away.
Brainerd.
Brainerd. Okay, yeah.
Bemidji, Brainerd, yeah.
Look at this one.
Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. Now I've seen that one.
I've seen
Actually, I've seen there's so many of them that look familiar. I mean, because it was right there. All those pictures are part of our lives. It's crazy.
Yep. Here's one more for you. This is a room with all of Larry's old calendars and
oh wow,
just stuff that if you haven't old like In-Fisherman calendars, moon phases, peak times, like that's a hand painted piece.
Look at that. Yeah, Larry was something else, right? I mean, just did amazing work.
I can't even draw a stick, man, and look at that stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
How he made that In-Fisherman come to life with the color and with his artwork. I think is probably the most amazing part.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see. So.
Well, the one picture that I had in my head was the boat with In-Fisherman, and I found it quick. And while you were walking through the hall, I was able to pop it up real quick. The facts of fishing thing, and and then the In-Fisherman, the boat. It is really fun. This is a fun nostalgic trip. I appreciate that you got up and started walking around the office.
Yeah, I'm just me here. Hey, I think I found, is this the night crawler photo?
Oh, there it is.
Nope, that ain't the one I was
That's not the
thinking.
one.
Nope. Here,
I
let me
don't
see.
know. I don't think I've seen that one.
Let's see here. I'm not as good as chasing and uploading stuff, so I'm gonna have to do it this way. Let's see here.
Hold your phone up.
No, let's see here.
Oh, you can share it. Share the web page.
Yep. We'll share screen here. I think it's this one.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's the book I remember.
Oh yeah.
I cannot see that.
Oh, let me pop back up there. I took it out too quick.
Got that? You got the small screen.
I think it's this. There we go. That's the one I was. Can you
Oh,
see
yeah.
it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the hardcover book that Trapper. Yeah, I remember that. It brings that. Yeah, 100%. Like, yep, that's the book. I mean,
Plenty of people have seen these pictures, and it's so fun to see them hanging on the wall.
well, and now you just got to think that, you're. I hate to put this on you, but you got a lot to live up with. But you get someday your photos are going to be hanging in this office. You know what I mean? Like your photos are going to be hanging in this office with this nostalgic stuff.
That would be, it's hard to even explain what that would feel like. It would be awesome. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Be a dream come true, but it's a dream come true that I get to work here and take pictures of fish, but you got to catch them before you can do that. So,
Isn't that the truth? I got into a conversation over the weekend where a couple of guys are just really angry at the fact that we're catching all these big fish and we need to leave them alone, and let them live. But I keep reminding people they're 20 to 25 years old and they're going to die if we don't see them, and so it's, and I had an episode about it. It's God's glory, right? I mean, these beautiful creatures have been down there for so long, and we have not had the chance to see them in numbers like we're seeing them now, right? And now all of a sudden we're getting to see, these gorgeous monster marbleeye. And I truly think we're in one of the very luckiest times to be able to see these fish.
I think we're all realizing there's a lot more fish in bodies of water than we ever realized. And
True.
It's not an excuse to take more, but the thing that's not discussed very often is selective harvest. And
100%.
like you still got to keep fish. You've got to take fish out of a system selectively to make room for other fish to grow. And otherwise it ends up being out of balance. And that's something that I wish was discussed more. We're going to talk about that a lot more. In-Fisherman is the company that pioneered that term. So actually I was talking with Corey today about that. It's important to talk about that stuff. It's in the social media, there's so much shaming going on. People are almost hesitant to do that. You still got to keep them. There's still food. You got to make room for more and bigger fish to enter the system. And in a lot of places it can help. Oh, did I lose you?
You're kind of cut.
I think your signal is still out in the hallway. It's working its way into the room. Little crappies, little crappies. I tell you, what a fun fish to catch. I haven't caught a ton of them, but
Yeah, I mean and that's just the thing. Like we were, you got like our biologist. We've had Mark Finslaw. We're going to have him on again this winter. Do our little biology tour this winter with our biologists, and they want these fish to come out of these lakes. We don't need to keep all these fish in these lakes. We have to have some mortality rate for fish to grow. I got a stock dam my buddy has, and it's overpopulated. It's got way too many fish in it, and they're all stunted because of it. And we're going to have to do some work on it this winter to clean it out. He's back.
I'm back. Sorry.
there it is.
right.
Proud.
Remember what you were saying. That's the $1 million question.
I do, yeah. Selective harvest, something that we need. Everybody needs to be talking about that more and more. The focus right now is lakes are getting fished out because the fish are getting caught too much. But it's not a bad thing to catch fish. Like, it's okay to take a few walleyes. It's okay to take your limit. Now, you've got to be a good steward of that resource, but part of being a good steward is actually keeping fish too. And that's okay. And don't let anybody else shame you otherwise and tell you otherwise.
Yeah, I agree.
And I 100% agree. And that's why I tell everybody, like, if our biologists and game fish and parks were worried about these big fish being caught, they would have put regulations in already. You know,
true.
And sometimes I'll be the first one to admit, and I've said to them, sometimes they act too late, right? The problem's already happened. I mean, we can talk deer, we can talk anything, right? Sometimes they're late to the game. They mismanage. It happens. Mother Nature has their own plan for things. 2011 flood in Pier. Imagine if the 2011 flood never happened, we probably would have been same old Lake Oahe growing 10, 11, 12 pounders. But until we dumped them smelted, so many people, including myself, were mad about. Then the lake herring blew up. Now we're growing state records in the body of water. So Mother Nature had her own plan for this thing. And now we're, and our game fish and parks has finally, because of the Walleye Coalition, got involved stocking fish. They realize it works. When they look at Lake Oahe and say it's too big, putting 2 million walleyes in ain't going to do nothing on that reservoir. Well, we found out it does. Like we said, just try it. Give us a trial run, and it's going to, and then tell us it doesn't work after that. And we'll tell you if it does or doesn't. We know it does. And if 10% of 2 million make it, we got a lot of fish.
No doubt.
If 10% of them have fish, it just spirals. 10%, a little bit of 10% every time goes a long ways. But you have to harvest these lakes. You have to take fish. And we look at lakes that, we can pick on, Mille Lacs up there, how they've regulated that thing almost to death. They have other things in there that factor on non-game fish or non-Minnesota DNR can't regulate. But that lake has always been up. There's zero walleye limit down to, it's had everything.
And there's as many fish in there as there ever have been. The place is chock full of walleyes and perch and smallmouth and anything else that swims. But they don't bite that well these days, but that's because there's so much dang food in there.
Right. That's problematic.
Yeah.
I truly think we're having that issue on Lake Oahe. The last weekend I went out and fished 7:30 to 4 o'clock, and I don't think I ever once saw one picture without bait balls, bait clouds, bait everything, everywhere, all day long. And I don't know that I've ever seen that much bait hanging out in a system. It blew my mind. And it came down to the fact it was like, well, no, we're just not going to catch anything because they're not hungry. Matter of fact, I think they're so full they don't feel like reacting to anything either.
We got a comment here. So it says, what's happening, Jason and Kurt? What's happening, Roomy? Don't forget to bring me Rubens, bro.
Oh no, a Reuben. I can't.
That's Chris. Chris, I'm not bringing you a Reuben tonight. I got pizza.
Why is Chris making you bring food? All we heard about when he was on is how great a cook he is.
He is a phenomenal cook, and he's got a servant's heart. No doubt about that. I love Reubens. He loves Reubens. Chris, I'll bring you a Reuben. It's not going to be tonight.
It's not going to be a gas station Reuben, is it?
No. I mean, maybe. It just depends. We'll see how nice he is during the show.
Yeah. So do you guys like Runza then? If you like Reubens, I can't do a Reuben. Runza?
I've never had one.
Oh, you haven't. So you've never been in Nebraska then?
Thankfully not.
Okay. Well,
No,
here's
just
the deal.
kidding. I'm only about an hour and a half from there, but
One day you'll
I've
be
only
there.
recently started eating Reuben's, and they have a really good one in Nisswa at the Main Street Ale House. It's phenomenal. So I'll eat there like 4 nights a week when I'm in town.
Oh, wow.
So
And Chris
now
tells me
you're-
no every single time, but tonight he must want a Reuben because he knows I'm tied up. Thank you, Christopher.
So now that you're with In-Fish, you've been there 2 weeks. Like, do you already are you got some creative flow to come up with your own concepts, or do they got projects you're going to work on?
It's kind of a cool position because what you're going to see from In-Fish is not like what you've seen in the past. There's a real
Do we lose them again?
Yeah, like, is he locked up, or was that a dramatic pause for effect?
It's
Biggest
probably
dramatic pause we've ever had.
Oh, yeah, right.
on your end, maybe, but not on mine.
Oh,
We
that
got
better?
there. So you said In-Fish is gonna have. We're not gonna see what we see in the past. That's kind of where we lost you.
Hang on a sec. Maybe if I can move my phone a little bit, it might fix things. Yeah, you're going to see a much stronger digital presence, which is the real reason why I have a job. Kind of been given creative freedom within the boundaries to go out and create and to get in the boat with people, to shoot a lot of reels, shorts, a lot of video stuff. This morning we were out right behind the river here and shooting a show with Doug Stange and Rob Newman on catching red horse, which I think is super cool. And running through that whole thing, I shot the behind the scenes photos, just kind of hung around on the bank and watched them do their thing. So that'll come out in 2026. Tomorrow I'm going on a shoot to a lake north of here to catch crappies, and then we'll shoot another TV show on Friday.
So you're gonna be absolutely busy. Like, no open dates on the calendar, right?
Dude, I get to be in the boat. I get to run a camera. I get to be around fish. I get to save all the waypoints. Like, bring it on.
Right. Okay. So Kurt, did you was that Mr. Colorado? Was that Eagle Claw? Was that Eric? Did you get a comment from Eric there? Yeah, right there.
Eric, where is he at?
Eric? Right there. There he is.
You know
right
what, Eric? You ever want to know what's going on in the fishing industry? Talk to that guy. He is the heartbeat, and he represents every angler. The dude has so much passion. Every time I chat with him, I wish it would last longer. And he's a really fishy guy.
Yeah, it's fun to follow him on the socials.
Yes, it is. Entertaining for sure.
Yeah, well, Eric, I'm glad
His
you're
wife's
watching
a hammer.
the show. Yeah, right. Yes, exactly.
And then we got Target Walleye. Come on, broken. Back connection is not BIS 101.
You're in the office. There's nothing you can do about it. Wi-Fi is the Wi-Fi you get, right? Or aren't you on the Wi-Fi in the office there?
I was, and it had a worse signal. But Chris,
Oh.
this is just my 2C, but I'm not going to address that comment on air.
And Josh says the old trapper says when you're back home, you're gonna be hammering walleyes on his spot.
Yeah, my spots. He's an awesome dude. I've gotten to know him really well. I've only known him for, I don't know, 5 or 6 months. We go to the same church. I've seen him at church, and I'm like, I sent him a message one day, and I'm like, dude, why are we not friends?
Right.
Like, let's go out and fish. So we did, and been picking on each other ever since.
Old trapper.
Yeah, he so I met him in Pickstown. He was walking across the parking lot, and it was hotter than heck out that day. And he was like, "Hey, do you mind if I sit on the tailgate here and catch my breath?" And so I'm like, "Sure, yeah." And I didn't know who he was. I didn't know Josh from Adam, to be honest with you. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, "Hey, wait a minute, I know him." So it was kind of a fun way to meet him, and then get to, the deeper you get into things, the more you meet people. And here's the thing, you'd have to agree too. Isn't this just a tiny little world?
It's a small world with a lot of people in it.
Wow, it is. It is such a small world with a lot of people. It's crazy.
It's one of those things that the people that refuse to burn bridges are the ones that are going to be here for a very long time, because I was just talking to a guy this afternoon. This is the third company that I've worked with him or collaborated with him at. It's his second company. It's my third in the past 4 years or 5 years. But like, we've never lost contact. We've always worked together in one capacity or another, and it continues now.
That's so amazing. You know who I miss? And I know, Kurt, I'm talking about me again, but you know who I really miss? And I have to say it because I have lost touch with them. Brian Brosdahl, Bro and Heather. I bet it's been a year and a half. And like, matter of fact, now either tonight when I get home or tomorrow morning, I'm going to send them an email and say, hey, it's such a small world, and there's so many good people in it. Bro is just a wonder. He's so awesome. But there are just tons of guys out there. The first time I reached out to Chris, he got back to me, and isn't it amazing how easily you can make friends in this outdoor industry right now? It's nuts.
So funny story about Chris, as we're talking about content creation on, tonight, I met him on a photo shoot on Lake Vermilion a couple years ago. That's how we became friends. We've been hanging out ever since. Yep. I thought I was going to meet him. I'm trying to remember, Chris, where were you at? He was somewhere. I'm like, oh, Chris is going to be here. I got to meet the guy. And then somebody said, oh, you know what? It was at the Ice Institute last year, I believe, in Sioux Falls. And I'm like, what happened to Chris? Oh, he left. So I messaged him, and bang, he got back to me right away. And we've been pals ever since. Chris, it's good to know. He's an awesome dude.
Yeah, no doubt.
Then you missed him at the Classic when we did the old walleye photo guy shoot at the Classic, and you were gone somewhere.
I'm always chasing the story somewhere, some way, somehow, and I missed it. Was Crispy the model at the photo shoot? Crispy the model.
He was.
Okay, what is Crispy the model?
Yeah, yep. Tell us that story.
Do you want the one that's safe for work or not safe for work?
Well, it depends. You do you have one paycheck from In-Fisherman so far?
That's your choice.
Nope, not yet.
We can't.
Nope, not even that.
That's up to you. You go ahead and you tell the story how you think it should be told.
No, I'll just tell it the way that it is. Yeah, we were on a shoot for Cast King, and that's a company that I was doing some contractor work and planned a trip up to Lake Vermilion, and I don't even remember who I don't remember who invited him, but I didn't know of him, and obviously I'm super glad that he was there. But that was an awesome photo shoot, not because the weather was great, not because we caught a ton of fish. The weather was awful. We got rained on every day, multiple times. I cannot even count the amount of money that I lost in camera gear, from batteries to microphones. It was, a couple $1,000s. It was a soak fest. But we had a great time doing it. We had a shore lunch. We fished hard. We had great fellowship, and yeah, honored to call him a friend and a brother in Christ.
So how much do you get to hang around Al at all? Do you spend much time with Al? Do you get to see him? Do you see him in the office if and when you're there?
Chris gets to hang out with him a lot more. I had lunch with him this summer. We went out and I had the chance to jump in a boat with him for about 10 minutes to look at some electronic stuff. But no, I don't see him a whole lot because he travels. But hopefully when I'm up here more often, we'll run into each other. And yeah, he's amazing. Like, everything you hear about him is true.
That's good. That's good. It's so cool. I not had a chance to meet him in person. Kurt, have you?
Way back in the day, PWT days.
Oh, wow.
Way back when I was a kid, PWT days. So it's been a long time. I've talked to Ron on the phone. Ron called me years ago about the Gov Cup. I can't remember what year it was. My phone rang and he told me it was Ron Linder. I about flipped over. And he was filling me in on the third Governor's Cup where 0 fish were caught. And he was there, Ron and Al and Babe and all the whole crew, and no fish were caught in 2 days. So, yeah. But I met him when I was a kid, way back in the day. Like I said, PWT era. I mean,
That's cool.
I'm 40 years old. I don't know how old you are, Joel. I know I'm younger than Jason, and I'm the old guy in the room right now. I've been in this industry my entire life, and really heavy in the last 18 years being in the industry. But yeah, so I'm the old guy in the room with the. That doesn't happen very much, and I can say I'm the old guy in the industry in the room.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool.
It's seniority.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's pretty cool for all of the people that I've met over the last 4 years, and I'll go somewhere, I guess, even if we're at the Bassmaster Classic, and I'll run into somebody, I'll introduce them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, hey, I remember your dad went." I'm like, "Huh?" and then boom, it's just like it was like Brian Brosdahl and Heather the first time we were together. And I'm like, wonder if these guys know each other. Oh yeah. Oh, they've got stories to tell, and which is really cool because that just goes to show you what the industry's like and the longevity of the people in it. Good people get to stay.
Yeah, and it's not that hard to be in here and be successful, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. You just got to do the right thing, treat people well, be honest, be fair, and enjoy your job, and that's the secret. That's the common denominator, and if you keep doing that, you'll hang out and meet people that are similar and like-minded, and that's you grow your network one introduction at a time, one handshake at a time, and pretty soon you end up knowing everybody because everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I remember when I first started doing my In Through the Outdoors, Jeremy Smith did a lot of stuff with me. And I honestly couldn't believe it. And then he got kind of busy, and I backed off and I let it go. Joel Nelson, I just started meeting awesome people. Then I started with Aglow. And do you think you'll do Aglow, or are you a member of Aglow now?
I'm not yet. I was going to go this fall. I just it was too much at once, and it was another few days at the end of another trip. I was up here actually shooting some stuff. And so I didn't make it, but I would like to be a part of that at some point.
It's a good group of people. Joel Nelson sits down, plays the guitar. Like, huh? Really? And
he's a talented dude.
Pardon?
Joel's a super talented dude.
Yeah. Oh man, just unbelievable. Oh yeah. You know what, Jim? See, I know of Jim. I've heard of Jim, but boy, maybe we need to ask Jim to be on the show, Kurt. Joel, do you think we could get that to happen?
Sounds like Chris.
Yeah, I think Chris could maybe help us there. That would be it. It's fun to get nostalgic, and go back. We had Jim Randash on and said some of the great stories. We're gonna have to have him back on this winter because it was a ton of fun, But and here's the other crazy thing. You sit here and talk and you just have a conversation, and we're 53 minutes into this thing already, and it feels like we've been talking for 5 or 10 minutes.
It's crazy.
That's what we love about fishing. When you can talk for hours and not even know it, right?
Yeah, it's so cool.
So,
well, I'm not going to forget the trip around the hallway there, the trip around the office. That was highlight of my night, probably highlight of my October at this point.
That's cool.
That is so cool that you took us on that, and that you were actually there to do the podcast and then take us on it. I thank you so much. It's just awesome.
Yeah, I was here all day. We were shooting TV stuff this morning, and then had some office stuff this afternoon, and I killed maybe an hour and a half behind. So this office is on the Mississippi River, right? It's right on a bend. It's riverfront property. You walk like 100 yards, and you can catch 4 and 5 pound smallmouth for as long as you want. And they're there. I actually did that the morning of my interview. I caught a 6-pounder like 35 minutes before my interview. Got blood on my pants. Sent a picture to Corey. Yeah, it was like the biggest smallmouth I've ever caught, or close to it. I didn't weigh it, but I would have guessed it was 21 and a half, 22 inches. And wearing my interview clothes, wearing my waders, I walk into my interview 3 minutes away. After my interview, I put my waders back on, walked behind the office, and caught another 15 fish. It's just,
I mean, I think that was the interview. I don't even think if you don't put fish blood on you at in-fish interview, like I don't think you're getting the job, right? Like, if you say, hey man, I got blood on me from fishing out back, like you're probably not the guy to work there.
that's fair enough.
You know, we have a little bit of time left, and it just popped into my head. We always talk about target walleye.
Oh, here we go. It was 2.4.
2.4. And the truth comes out.
Jolly, you don't even want me to start talking about the truth on that trip, so you better pipe it.
Oh, I love it. I love it when people get into it, you know, and when it's meant to be. Yeah, Eric, isn't that true? When it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Talk a little bit about target crappie, because that really should just be a topic and a discussion someday, because we're all about walleye, no doubt about it. But target crappie, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so Brett Jolly, the guy that's jabbering behind the scenes over there talking smack, you need to have him on the show. We do. Have you ever had him? I don't think so.
No. As a matter of fact, we need to have Eric on sometime too.
Yep. So Jolly lives down in Texas. He just finished, I think, his 4th year fishing collegiate bass. Graduated to get married soon. He's a guide. He's running target crappie now. I can't do both just because of the nature of the job at In-Fish. So I had to step away, but he's the heartbeat of that right now, and everything you see is going to come from him. He just lives it. He breathes it. He's a fishy kid. He's hilarious. He's one of the most polite people I've ever met, unless he's riding in your truck, and I'll leave that there. Yeah, he's awesome. He came up for the Fishers of Men thing and caught a 26 or 27-inch walleye, and he figured it out real quick, and had a great time with him. He's a cool dude. He'd be a good guest.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll meet at the Classic this year, and maybe not. Maybe we'll have to have him on before then. So
I'd put him on as soon as you can. He'd be worth it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? We'll get her booked in the next couple of weeks here. So we keep this thing rolling. Right now we're kind of struggling to catch walleye here on Oahe. You know, things are picking up a little bit.
It's about time to catch 15 and 16 pounders, isn't it? Isn't it reaper season?
Oh, it's coming.
I think our problem was we had too hot of fall.
Yeah, warm water.
Cool down, and I've heard it's starting to pick up, but
slow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100% going to be at the Classic. Okay, well, Brett, we'll look for you there, but we'll have to have you on the show maybe in the next few weeks or something like that. I'll send you a message on Facebook and we'll figure something out there. But yeah, I'll tell you what, the big wall. There was I think somebody caught a 16-pounder here 2 weeks ago, really? And then a couple of 12s and some 13s. So, but that's on and off, but
and it's pretty bad when you don't even hear about those fish now. I didn't even know there was a 16-pounder caught. Like I just found that out. Like
caught another one.
Yeah. Another one.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? We used to just dream about the Columbia. I used to watch Seth Burrell and doing all of his stuff, and he's always catching these great big 10, 11, 12-pound walleye on the Columbia. I'm like, wow. And then they catch 15s and 16s, and here we are. I mean, now I moved, and I'm living here in Mobridge, and I am right here living on the river. And man, I'll tell you what, there's just nothing better. Unless you're in the In-Fisherman building on the Mississippi. I mean, that's pretty cool too.
You know what? I've not caught a walleye out of this river. I think I caught one. It was 12 inches long in 2.5 years. I probably fished it 25 times.
Really? Man.
And I'm a river rat, but I'd trade smallmouth for walleye all day long.
They are fun.
I just love them. It's hard. They're hard to beat. I love catching walleyes too. But
this walleyes are the easiest fish to catch.
Yeah, right. I was just going to say.
Is Kyle watching?
Yeah, Kyle. I don't know if he's watching. He'll probably catch it later, maybe.
He always tells us walleyes are the easiest fish to catch. And,
That's funny.
If you're in a boat with him, that's the truth, because that dude is a forward-facing sonar hammer. He's got him figured out. I jumped in the boat with him on the way up to Brainerd a few months ago. Said, "Hey, I want you to show me how you're fishing the finisher." And I have my ways. Other people have their ways. I've been successful, but I want to see how you do it. And it was a different style, and we whacked him. It was awesome.
Yeah, I tried his style when I was in Pier over the summer, and I wasn't extremely successful because I'm not a stick, right? But I started using the finisher the way Kyle said to use it. He did the finisher 411, and I followed it to a T, and I couldn't believe they nothing big, but it was summer. It was a little walleye. They were 14s, 15s, 16s, 17s, but whatever. And then Kurt just comes down there and just starts catching fish at will. No, I don't know how to fish, but I'm, like, sure enough. So, anyway.
You know what? A 14 to 17 incher, who cares? Those are fun. I mean, you're successful on it.
Yeah.
They're biting it. You got something figured out. If you get around bigger fish, you'll catch bigger fish.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Well, Joel, it's been great having you on, buddy. We're going to have to probably run across paths sometime very soon and have to get you out here on the good old Missouri River, and we will catch you some walleyes out here.
And bass. And bass.
Walleyes, brown bass, anything that swims, like, I don't really care. I love it. I love being out on the water. Love to fish with you guys. This has been an awesome hour. I can't believe how fast it's gone, but extremely thankful that you...
Holy cow.
For the chance to be on here too.
Well, we appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Right.
Thanks for answering back and doing what you do, because I've been enjoying it the last couple of months, and we're just starting here. So thank you.
And congratulations on the new position.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you guys. Super
All right,
excited.
everybody take care. Guys, have a great night.
Have a